boy. Hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let me thank Miss Jackie and Miss Anita, because last year they sent me this sweatshirt, and it's needed tonight because it's cold out here. I was live streaming the first half of the Carolina. Damn. I'm thinking about Cam being in Carolina. This year's just been crazy. Everything is literally upside down. You know, for Tom Brady to be in Tampa and Cam Newton to be in New England, it's crazy. But I was watching the first half of the New England game, New England versus the Rams. The Rams are actually, scored up 17-3. Cam needs help. Cam needs help. Guys dropping balls left and right and everything else. But you look at New England, you understand that 9 of their players sat out because of COVID. 9, including major defensive starters, like Hightower and guys like that and stuff. So that you can understand that. But yet that team is 6-6. They are still scratching and clawing and things like that. It's just been atrocious, some of the things I've seen. I've talked about Jalen Smith, who is, congratulations, the Dallas Cowboys nominee for NFL Man of the Year. He's doing great things out in the community. I love that, because I have been blessed to have met a lot of great football players that have given back. I can say I know the NFL Man of the Year last year because I've done stuff with him from back in 2013. I've literally known him for 7 years, and I wanted him in Dallas because that's the kind of guy we needed in Calais Campbell. It's funny. I'm actually getting off of a tangent here. I'm getting off on a tangent from what I was talking about, but I told you guys, when you get old, that happens. You start focusing on one thing, and then all of a sudden you get led astray. And it's just the way it is. When you come on this channel, and most of you older people that are here, you understand it. You understand it completely. But a guy like Calais Campbell, when Arizona was too stupid to re-sign him, I said, this is the guy to bust the bank for. This is the kind of player that you need on the field and off the field. Because I knew about his character. I knew about him giving back to the community and what he cares about doing with other people, and about his tenacious attitude on the field, his workout regimens. This guy is a leader that people follow. And people said, are you kidding me? He wants too much money. He only gets 7 or 8 sacks a season and things like that. He ain't worth all that. You know what? And you know what freaking happened after that season, that first year he went to Jacksonville? Dude had 14.5 sacks from a defensive tackle, defensive end position, became a leader on that defense, and went to the AFC Championship game and was runner-up defensive MVP. And you can look at this team right now, and this team is missing a Calais Campbell type attitude. A guy that's a leader, that leads by example, that doesn't just roll over and die like we have been doing in games. I am glad to hear, because I've been live streaming first half of the game, so I haven't seen news. Mike Fisher is reporting something about an hour ago, and also thoughts and prayers to Debo. Mike Licks? I can't remember his name. Mike Mike Licky. The actor who played Debo in Fridays. 62 years of age, passed away. Again, I'm sorry I'm going off on a tangent. But I was live streaming. But there's a report out that Mike McCarthy got into it with his players for their effort in the second half on the defense. Thank you. Now, I don't know if Mike McCarthy is the right guy for this. I don't know that some of the players that we have are the right players for this. But I do know one thing. When I've seen on the field, what I've heard from players, I don't know what is going on with Xavier Woods. For Xavier Woods early in the season to say, nobody gives 100% every play. Okay, you can say that when your team is winning and stuff. But when you see that you guys aren't busting a grape, that you guys are giving up historic numbers, and understand this, right now as we sit 12 games in, this team is only about 36 points away from giving up from the worst defense in the history of the Dallas Cowboys. Giving up more freaking points than any of them. We still got 4 games to play. You think that they're going to give up less than 36 points? No. You don't have the room, the right, the audacity, the gall to say we don't play hard on every play. And I've seen Jalen Smith. I know that you're the NFL Man of the Year for the Dallas Cowboys. But I tell you what, buddy, I have seen plays where you should have been in on. I've seen you jogging at the end. Because here's the thing, I'm old school. I understand this, okay? It was a different world, okay? We didn't take plays off. It didn't matter if you got your head, if you're seeing stars, blue dot hits. Your ass was still out there playing. It didn't matter if you cut or bleed. You know, like Alex Smith, you saw that leg just bleeding like crazy. His ass was out there. He wasn't flinching. That's old school right there. And you never gave up on a play. And when somebody's got the ball, even though somebody's got their hands on them, you were there 11 hats on the ball. Because you know what happens when a guy's standing up there, he's engaged. That's your opportunity to knock that ball out of there, to get a turnover before they get on the ground. I don't see that tenacity. I don't see that anger. I don't see that effort. And finally, Mike McCarthy said something in that locker room. And I don't know if that's because he's feeling some pressure now because he's looking at this team and saying, instead of us getting better, we're getting worse again. I get it. We're missing players. But you know what? New England off the bat was missing 9 of their players. Many of them major contributors to the team. Yet they go out and they compete every single week. I can't say that with this Dallas Cowboys team. So maybe you look and say, well, it's a COVID year, so you don't get fired. Well, I tell you what. If you're losing that team, if guys are literally giving up, and I understand a lack of talent. I understand that if you've got, a cornerback who can only run a 4.9, and he's going against a receiver that's running a 4.3, I understand that he's going to get beat, okay? Because he can just literally outrun you. But I tell you what, I better not see your ass jogging out there. I better not see you trying to lead the way, lead blocking out there. I expect to see you giving everything you got. Yes, you may be beaten because they are physically better than you, but I better not see that you are not giving full effort out there. And if you're not, then you need to go. I don't care who you are or how much money you get paid. Your ass needs to be out of here if you're not giving that full effort. And that goes for not just game day. We're talking about practice. Not a game. Now, I'm talking about practice. I'm talking about learning the plays. I'm talking about studying. And not only knowing your spot, knowing what that guy next to you is supposed to do and what that guy is supposed to do and the guys behind you are supposed to do. So that way you work as a team. And I don't see that. Because when you know what you're supposed to do and that guy's supposed to do, when he's not in position, you say, hey, yo, bro, slide on over. You're in the wrong spot. We in this shit together. When you look bad, I look bad. And I'm not going to look bad because you don't know your shit. So I'm happy as can be to hear that Mike McCarthy went off on some people. You need to go off and let some people know that your livelihood is at risk if you're not going to perform. That your ass is going to get out of here. Because you know why? Because my livelihood is dependent on you performing. And I'll be damned if I'm going to get fired because of you. Put that shit out there like that. Tired of seeing people half-assed. I'm tired of seeing people that feel like they're entitled and they don't have to go out there and earn it. I don't care who you are. You can sit there and think, hey man, I'm doing good now. I'm here. But if you don't work with the same tenacity to improve each and every day, your ass ain't going to be there for long. You got to keep that hunger. You got to keep that thirst. And you got to keep working every single freaking day. That's what I do. Not that I'm a success, because I'm far from it. But every day I put forth full effort to try and get better, to know something I didn't know yesterday, to make sure that I'm a step closer today than I would be if I hadn't. You got to do that shit. And until these Dallas Cowboys players realize being a Dallas Cowboy don't mean shit, because those other teams don't care. They want that notoriety that you have. And if you want to keep it, you got to earn it. Yeah. It needs to be some writing put up on the wall for everybody. And that goes from the owner on down, because that guy When he fails everybody. There needs to be some major changes on this team, starting with Jerry and filtering on down. Sick and tired of this shit. Tired of it. I just want to win. Tired of waiting and waiting and waiting. Tired of seeing these damn Giants and Washington cockroaches on my channel. Having to listen to them thinking that they done pounded, that they've actually done something. Shit. Now I've done lost my religion tonight. I'm Mark Holmes, and let me end this a little differently. I hate this year. There has been so much lost this year. People's humanity has been lost this year. People's caring for other people has been lost this year. If this was 1941 and we have people with the attitudes that we have today, I don't know that World War II we would have won. I don't know that we could have gotten together to fight the common enemy. People are so cold and callous and care about nothing but themselves. We've lost our humanity. We've lost loved ones. We've even lost our sense of loss. That every day we are losing thousands of people. Maybe it hasn't been anybody you know, but I sure know a lot of people that I've lost this year. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the hate from people. I don't have to agree with you. You have the right to your opinions and your beliefs in the same way that I do. As long as I'm not doing something that is hurting you, why does it matter what I do? That's what this country was supposed to be built on. The freedom of choice, the freedom from religious persecution, freedom of speech, the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But it seems like everything is fuck you if you don't agree with me. The hell with you. It's not the way America was. It's not the way we should be. And it's not the way I hope we're going to be. We have got to get past all this hate. And we have to come together, because what we are fighting right now, what we literally are fighting right now, is as big as World War II. I love studying the Civil War. And about 2.5 hours north of here is the battlefield of Antietam. Robert E. Lee took his forces north to forage for food and things like that, and figured, we're going to take the battle to the north. They met in a cornfield in Antietam. That battle raged for the day. Started out in the cornfield. It shifted to Bloody Lane. It was a wagon lane that the Confederates were using as breastwork. The Union artillery and soldiers were on the hill and literally picking them off like, apples in a barrel. The Bloody Lane, which was a sunken road, ended up being piled up with bodies. The battle shifted from there to Antietam Creek, to a bridge called Burnside's Bridge. The reason why they call these sideburns was named after General Ambrose Burnside. They just reversed it. The Union soldiers were trying to go across this narrow bridge where 500 Kentucky riflemen literally just picked them off, until they found out that they could forage across a quarter mile downstream. They could just walk across. And they started getting across, and they were going to overrun the Confederates on the hill. And then the cavalry comes through and saves the day. The battle ends. It's really a draw. Lee leaps back to Virginia, and the Emancipation Proclamation is done after this. This battle, there were almost 4,000 soldiers that died, 28,000 casualties. That's people that are missing, wounded, or killed. One of the bloodiest days in American history. And we are at the point right now where we are having that many people die a day. Pearl Harbor, 2,600 people. September 11th, about 3,000. Yesterday, 3,164 people. Today, it'll probably be even more. This is something we need to do together. I am so sad when I see somebody in my chat saying, I lost my mother, I lost my cousin, my uncle, my son. We are in this together. I'll see you guys in the morning.